Chad Simmons at On 3 here at, I go back, I guess, what, King High School, I want to say, here in Detroit. Obviously one of the top programs in the area. DJ, one of the top players in the country, 2023, a quarterback. Started getting offers, what, 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th grade summer.
I mean, that's pretty amazing, man. Recruiting's definitely changed over the years. Offers going out earlier and earlier. You told me a minute ago you didn't really even realize you had the offer, but it didn't really hit you probably for a while.
Yeah, so it's like after the camp, they told me that they offered me, but I didn't know what that meant. So when I told my dad, he went like insane. But as me being young, I really didn't know what it meant. But until he broke it down, told me, and I started crying that night. And then when I posted on Twitter, it blew up. So.
It wasn't just a offer; it was an offer from Michigan. You know,
Yeah.
The University of Michigan, in-state program, one of the top programs in the country. Obviously, a local school for you guys here. Once it hits you, what that mean to you? You know, at that age.
I mean, when it hit me, like I said, I didn't know what it meant. But I mean, it took it. It was a blessing from God. I really appreciated it. It's just the work kept continuing. A lot of people kept saying congratulations. I took that all in. It was a blessing. So the work just kept going. Yeah,
I mean, you've been, in recruiting, kind of rolling ever since. I mean, you're up to over 2 dozen offers right now. Schools across the country are coming after you. Let's talk about that. I mean, when you talk to coaches, I know a lot of offers came your freshman year, but when you've gotten feedback from them, what do schools say they like about you and your game?
They like my maturity. They said that I'm a great leader. I'm great maturity. Me being a freshman, taking over an outstanding program. They said me having the skills, to take them deep into the season is like unbelievable. But a lot of coaches tell me that my maturity is great, my leadership. Me, giving the ball to my playmakers on the field, making them make plays. So, I mean, that's the only thing they keep saying to me. It's like they love my skill level, so I'm just really appreciative of it.
How much do you take pride in that leadership they're talking about? I mean, obviously quarterbacks are looked at as natural leaders on the football field. How much do you take pride in that?
Right, so my freshman year, I was trying to be as much a leader as I can, but, me going into my sophomore year, I was more of a leader, but being a leader on the field, everybody's going to look at the quarterback, see how his emotions is during the game, but being a leader is the most important thing, I believe, as a quarterback, and me taking control of a team is probably the best feeling ever.
Yeah, how thankful are you to be back leading now in 2021 after we're getting through, hopefully still getting through this pandemic in 2021. I mean, it was a rough year for all you guys, for the world in general, but as football players, as top recruits like you, a crazy season, starting late, hit polls, finish late,
right.
Tough with practices and day-to-day life as, a student here at the high school, probably a lot of Zoom calls for you as a recruit. How thankful are you to kind of maybe see that in the rearview mirror and coming out of that now?
Right, I mean, it was a blessing, with COVID, it was very scary for everybody, but starting off with school, me doing all virtual meetings, trying to complete the homework, and at 12 o'clock at night, it was just very hard to, go through Microsoft Web and do a whole bunch of stuff, so it's just like with that, even with football, I mean, it was hard, being masked up, in the game, you barely can breathe, it was just bad overall, but like I said, a lot of 6 feet at practice, so trying to do a lot of 7-on-7s, a lot of things with being like time-wise, it was just terrible. I mean, thank God, everybody got the COVID. I lost a couple family members, but overall, it was a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a blessing on the football side is June 1 came around.
Yeah.
You guys were allowed to get back out, take trips, and you hit the South pretty hard. LSU, Florida State, Georgia, Clemson, a number of schools in the South.
Right.
What did you take away? I mean, you're up here in Michigan, what they call Big Ten country, in the Midwest. What did you see in the South, just in general, at different schools?
Down south is different. I mean, first off is the weather. I mean, the weather down there is 100 degrees, 95 degrees. Being up here, it's a little mild. Like today, it's raining, but overall, being down there, me having, just play in the hot weather. It was a little hard at camp, but I mean, I got through it overall, but it's just different. The people down there is different, the culture is different, people is very, very friendly down south. I really appreciated that, but going to Clemson, I mean, the top program, I loved being there, and then Florida State and LSU, I mean, Joe Burrow came from LSU, me being there, seeing what he done in there, which is crazy, but Florida State was a great, I love the campus, love the brick buildings, I loved everything about it, love the program, love the coaches, but overall down south it's just different, first thing, the weather. That's what I'm always saying.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely said you had a good time at each camp and every stop you made, but a couple that stood out were Florida State and LSU, as you just mentioned. Let's hit Florida State real quick first. I mean, what caught your attention there under Mike Norvell?
Right. First off, Coach Dillingham told me that he was going to offer me when I hit campus. So he said that, he really wanted to see if I was really truly about, enjoying Florida State. So I told him I'm going to be down there. So when I first got down there, we did a little tour. I love the buildings. I mean, I think every building on the campus is brick, so that was really outstanding seeing that. They took us, around the whole campus, off campus a little bit, but me talking to Coach Norvell in his office, I mean, he got down real strictly, but he just talked to me about being a great man in his life. He took me through his little childhood, and it was real big, but overall, him offering me and shaking my hand, that was a great feeling. Wes leaving there a little late at night, but it was just a blessing, him offering me, great program.
Let's go from Tallahassee to Baton Rouge and LSU. Obviously, just like you mentioned, Joe Burrow came from there, played himself into a wealthy NFL quarterback, now for the Cincinnati Bengals. After going through, transfer and signing with his dream school, Ohio State, goes down to LSU, becomes a superstar, wins national championship, NFL draft pick. I mean, it really played out quite well for him. What did you see in Baton Rouge that appealed to you?
So, me being from Cleveland, but me living in Athens, Ohio, where same place where Joe Burrow's from, I mean, me being down there, just trying to fit myself how he seen Baton Rouge. So, me being down there, he took over the program. Justin Jefferson, a whole bunch of receivers he had with, but him being a leader, him, coming from Ohio State, coming right to LSU and just having 60 touchdowns is unbelievable, to be honest. But overall, like I said, chopping my feet in his shoes, coming from Athens in a little town, so just being there, seeing how he did it, just me imagining if I could do it there too.
Yeah, let's go back closer to home. I know you made it pretty clear to me you're pretty open right now. Right. No true favorites, not a leader, stuff. You're not there yet. Maybe after the season at some point, start chopping that list down a little bit. But you mentioned Michigan, Michigan State, and Notre Dame as three schools that definitely have your attention up in this part, as others do too, but right. In this part of the country. But starting with Michigan, the first school to offer. Jim Harbaugh played there, now the head coach, played quarterbacks, been in the NFL. What are some things about Michigan that stand out to you?
I mean, first of all, I want to give a big thanks for Michigan because, they put me on the map. Without them, I mean, I probably have offers by them, but them just put me on the map, me being thankful for them to offer me. But overall, it's a great program. Coach Harbaugh, he coached the NFL, that's the highest part of football you get to is the league. But overall, him, taking care of his people, Donnie Jones coming from there, a great player. He's going to take care of you as a, great person in life. But like I said, it's a great program. Coach Matt Weiss, a great offensive coordinator, great head quarterback coach. I mean, it's just great.
What about Michigan State and the state rival?
Mel Tucker, he's a great coach. He came from Colorado, I believe. Yeah, I think Colorado. So him being there, that was my first stop in June to go up there. So I had to see what that was all about. And Coach Johnson, quarterback coach, is a great atmosphere. I loved it up there. Went over a little bit of film. I loved their offense and just enjoyed it.
And then Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, South Bend. When I went down there, it was insane. Tommy Reese, he's very young, very, great energy great energy in person. He's a great person. Talked about a little bit of football, but more things. Talked to me more about life. Like I said, the photo shoot down there with Carnell Tate, one of the top receivers in our class. So me being down there with him was big. We talked about if this could probably be a spot for both of us, but overall, I just enjoyed it.
As you do kind of take that next step and start to, eliminate schools, shorten your list of schools, what is most important to you? Is it an offensive system? Is it about relationship? Is it location? What's most important to you?
Football doesn't last forever, so like I say, me being there after school, what am I gonna get from after football is over with? So a great school that's gonna, help me in the future, me being a grown man, help my family out. So I just want a big school that's going to help me, mature myself and just be better after football.
How important is the NIL now to you guys? I mean, how do you see that?
I mean, it's money. You love money, but overall, NIL is just, NIL is going to be a great thing, to pocket some money, but overall, it's just my main thing is trying to win a championship in college football.
Finishing up with you, DJ. Do you have a timeline in mind yet when you'd like ultimately to kind of end this journey, commit to a school, and kind of be done with everything in recruiting?
No, the main thing right now I'm focused on is the state championship, for the Detroit Martin Luther King program. But overall, probably at the end of the season, I'm gonna break everything down. Top any who I don't know it's gonna be, but like I said, I just want to enjoy the process and thank for God. But main thing right now is winning the state championship.